Zoea users can specify programs as test cases using either a text-based or a visual notation. The text-based notation is called Zoea Specification Language, ZSL, or simply, Zoea. Zoea Visual is a graphical programming language that is built on top of Zoea. We will cover Zoea Visual in a later talk. Zoea is a very simple language. It is simple because it does not include many of the elements that are found in most programming languages. There are no variables, statements, control structures, or functions. Zoea programs mainly consist of data values corresponding to test case inputs, derived values and outputs. Zoea programs are composed of one or more terms, where a term is simply a tag name followed by a colon and then a value. Any number of whitespace characters can occur before or after any of these elements. The layout of a Zoea program is not significant. Data values in Zoea programs are very similar to JSON. Numbers can be represented as integers, floating point, or in scientific format. Strings can use single or double quotes, and special characters are escaped with backslash. Arrays are represented with square brackets and hash maps with braces. Arrays and maps can be combined to produce any kind of composite data structure. Every Zoea program must have a program name. The program name is introduced using the program tag. If the program contains nothing else, then the program will do nothing. The output for a test case is defined using the output tag. If we only have a single test case, then we do not need to identify the case. If a Zoea program has no input specified, then it will always produce the same output. Test case input is defined using the input tag. If the input and output of a test case are different, then Zoea will try to determine what code is required. In Zoea, all programs treat input and output as single values. If multiple input or output values are required, then these must be structured as an array or hashmap. Intermediate values in test cases are defined using the derived tag. It is possible to have any number of derived values in each case. Inputs, derives and outputs are implicitly defined as steps. It is also possible to identify each of these explicitly using the optional step tag. Most Zoea programs will have more than one test case. Cases are introduced using the case tag. Everything that occurs between one case tag and the next corresponds to the same case. Case identifiers can be numbers or strings. Static reference data can be defined using the data tag. This saves having to provide the same data every time a program is run. When compiling the test cases, Zoea treats the data in much the same way as input and derived values, and it will use it where possible to produce new values and output. Composition enables existing Zoea programs to be combined to form larger programs. This is accomplished using the use tag. This tells Zoea to try to incorporate the named programs if it can, when formulating the code for the current program. The grammar for the complete Zoea language comprises just a handful of rules. A fuller description is provided in the Zoea language definition document. In this short talk, we have covered virtually all of Zoea specification language. By comparison, even the simplest conventional programming language is many times more complex. Zoea shields users from the complexity of software development, and allows them instead to focus on describing program behavior, using test cases. Visit zoea.co.uk for more information or follow us on Twitter.